Hi there guys, back for another instalment of Musing in Short Trousers courtesy of Bushy. This one is about the truth about waterproof clothing. As I touched on in a couple of the other areas, a big thing is to look at what you want an item of clothing to do, what you expect from it, the kind of things you will be doing. This is very important with waterproof clothing. As I've said before, advertisers can't lie. They often rate their garments in the amount of millimeters of hydrostatic pressure that the clothing will withstand, not letting water in, and the similar sort of grading for how much moisture can actually pass through the garment over a 24-hour period. Now this can vary between about 5,000 milli whatever, and I don't know the exact terms, up to 25. That's the spectrum that the manufacturers will tell you about, from the cheaper garments up to the top end garments. And whilst that sounds really good, the thing to bear in mind with that is that no waterproof garment currently made will be able to manage the amount of sweat you will produce toiling up a hill with a pack on your back, or even just toiling up a hill in my case. You will get wet with sweat. Even if they're looked after, they're cleaned, you waterproof them per the instructions, they cannot handle the amount of moisture you will produce in heavy exercise. Here's where the difference comes in. If you are out and about and you get wet and sweaty and you stop and you're wearing a good quality piece of kit, one of the higher breathability ones, as long as you're warm, they will breathe at a rate that's high enough to allow you to continue to dry out when you stop. The lower quality garments won't. It will just take so long for you to dry out. It's just almost untrue. So that's where the benefit would come in. However, the other side to that is all you have to do is bung a dry thermal and a fleece in there. When you stop, if you're wet through, whack your wet gear off, put your jacket back on. The jacket will be your windproof barrier and a warmer layer. So those are the sort of things you have to think about it. What will you do? What you expect it to do? If you're out on a hunt, you've got to hike up a hill. When you stop, drop to the ground, stay there. Possibly you might be watching an animal for an hour or 2 hours. You need to be drying out, or it might be that you just stop before the brow of the hill, sort yourself out. The choice is yours. But like I say, the reality is no garment will be able to handle the amount of moisture you will produce in heavy work. Absolutely none. So no matter what the advertising says or what the hype says about keeping dry and all the rest of it, that's something to bear in mind. So if you're in an environment where chances are it's warm, like I'm North Island, I don't even put waterproof trousers in my pack. It's too warm. I can't wear them. I take them if I'm going Southern Alps, if I'm going out in winter, lower North Island. I carry them basically to keep me warm. It's too warm. You can't put them on and be actually hunting around, hiking around, whatever, without sweating too much. I'd rather just get wet. As a general rule, in the summer and when it's warm, I do the same on the top half. I just get wet, take it off, squeeze it out, put it back on. Sounds a lot worse than it is. I always carry a waterproof, a lightweight, stuck in the bottom of my pack, simply because I can put it on and cut the wind chill down. So even with damp clothing, if you cut the wind chill out and you keep moving and you're warm, you're fine. That's the reality of it. You might be in a situation where you've got variable, lots of downpours, wet bush, wet trees and everything, this sort of thing, and you want to wear the jacket continually. Then you need a better quality piece of kit. You want something that will not fall to pieces pushing through bush, but will keep the rain out throughout the day. But you have to bear in mind about the breathability aspect. Like I say, the cheap option is dry thermal, dry fleece. When you stop and you stop moving, because that's when you'll start to get cold, put your dry kit on, put your jacket back on. But that is basically the end of the day. That's a reality. None of the adverts, none of the people on that do the reviews will tell you about waterproof kit. None of it, once again, like I say, none of it can handle the amount of sweat you will produce working hard. Something to bear in mind in what you want from your kit. Okay, awesome guys. Well, hope you're having a great day, and I'll sign off from this edition.